Hey, what's up? American Moustache LeatherWorks here. We're going to make a wallet today. We're under quarantine, so we are going to make a wallet from a pop. I'm going to be making the number 5 version 5. It's gone through a lot of different versions. The main version was a spring money clip, which is the wallet I still use today. Let me get that. This is the number 5 version 3, I believe. But anyways, here's the version 5 number 5 with the inverted or rather reversed pockets here. This is a nice thin-ish billfold here. Can hold up to 8 cards. Well, it can hold 8 cards in the 6 slots plus the 2 hidden slots here. It has a nice pigskin lining here, pig leather, burnished edges. I'm gonna make another one of these here for my grandpa. And so what I'll do is I'll trace all this out first, just right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take up both of those. And I'm buttoning these up to each other. Make it a little bit less cutting time for me here. Okay, so I was able to fit everything onto this, which is great news. So I'm going to cut the excess, and now we're going to go and dye it. We're going to lose some weight and dye it. Alright, so I'm just going to cut around this and get a general area. I'm also going to leave enough area to make some practice shots because we're going to hot foil. And it doesn't always come out perfect, and it's always good to try to do a practice run on some of the same material. Now, in my experience, I haven't been able to get hot foil just stick on natural veg tan leather on its own. It's the process of dyeing it, which I'm sure helps remove some of the oils that are in there, which prevent the stamp from sticking in the first place. Let's see, that should be plenty of space there. And then I can use this for any old thing. Okay, so this is our main veg tan part of this wallet. We'll be using a pull-up leather for the back shell. And so the first thing we'll do is get some gloves on, and I like to reuse these gloves. They don't go bad. We're going to oil it first. Some neat's foot oil right here from Bickmore, excuse me. So I've got here just a microfiber cloth that I've cut a corner out. And it can be reused over and over and over. It's better than a wool dauber, in my opinion. You have a little bit more control of what you're doing there. Good idea to get that off of the newspaper that's sliding around so that it doesn't have any option of spilling. And I left some extra room up here to practice foiling, bronzing rather. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure we do that. And I'm going to get a nice layer, a nice coat of this neat's foot oil. As we're going to get just a little bit of dye on the edge here. Are you with me? Just a little bit of dye. And we're going to spackle.
Sounds like rain. Rains are coming. Okay. That's okay.
We'll go with this black. We'll use the same sponge, except let's use this side of the sponge, this triangular side. Just a little bit. That's all you need. Squeeze it, dispense it. And I might go a little bit heavier on the black here, just a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit more speckles. I want some black speckles to really pop out. We're going to go light swirls here. We're going to try to get a full coating. Now, you could see these little spots here. You see all those scratches there. We got all these scratches we're gonna have to deal with, but they're gonna be hidden. We're gonna hide those crimes, so don't worry about those guys and ladies. Okay, we'll let that sit for just a moment. Let that sit for a little, about 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna give it one last coat to darken this all up together. So here we go. All right, so we're gonna seal this up now. I'll use the rest of this mink oil I've got. I've got more. And a little sponge I use for this. And this is gonna get a generous amount. Generous. We're not gonna be Scrooge over here with this stuff today. We want that stuff to soak in there and really give us some good waterproof in here. This will also darken the flavor a bit, or the color. Just trying to get a good even coverage. All right. We'll let that sit and soak in for another 5 minutes. All right, last step here. For finishing off the leather, we're going to take some of this Aussie. What is in this stuff here? Beeswax, probably a little silicone. It doesn't say though. This will help seal up your leather. You know, you could use Resin if you want to, if you have that stuff. Atomic wax. That's good stuff too. All right, I've let this sit about 45 minutes, and it soaked in a lot of that wax, but it also didn't soak in a lot of it as expected. Overdid it a bit. Better over than under. So what we're gonna do now, take a cleanish cloth. This cloth has been used for wax and mink oil appliances applications many times. So I'll just find a clean spot on it, and we'll just buff it out. We'll just buff it. Some beautiful dyed leather. Look at that. And that black. See all those black patterns going on in the back there? Little speckles really make this thing look like a pretty cool looking job there. All right, let's get on to cutting. I got a brand new blade up here in my, I forget what this thing was called. Shoot, but it cost like 25 bucks. Okay, it's at this point here we are going to get the logo stamped on here using the hot foil machine. We're going to burnish the edges, and then we're going to skive down the material. It totally didn't catch right there. Wonder why. Well, that's why we practice. Alright, I got a good press here. Let's hope that it turned out okay. Alright, not too shabby. Needs a little cleaning up, but for the most part, that turned out excellent. Okay, so now we're going to burnish the edges before we skive. beveling the edges with this number 0 edge beveler from Weaver Leathercraft. Our burnishing agent here. This here's Tokonol. And it's in this little thing that I made for it to keep it always standing up. And we're going to slick it using our little slicker here. It's not a bad one. Okay, take our 400 again, lightly scrape that, lightly sand it. We want to try to round those edges. That's what we're up to here. That's looking good. We'll get a little bit more of this Tokonol. You don't need as much this round. It's a lot more slicker and more of the fibers have taken to the Tokonol. Now we're going to, let's wait for that gets a little bit more tacky. There you go. So edges are starting to look real glossy now. We're going to go now with our 800 here. At this point, we are burnished now down to 800. I'm going to go ahead and do one more pass. And then I'm going to get the wax out. Wax on and wax out here. I just want to melt a little bit of it. We're going to get those edges taken care of. Nice. Okay, so now that everything's burnished up that we need to get done for now, we're going to skive down the material. We're going to skive it down pretty thin, probably down to a 1 ounce or something. Great. So what I'm going to do now that everything's skived down, I'm going to throw in some tape here, some double-sided tape, which is going to help me adhere this, and then I'm going to sew them one at a time. Okay, got the 2 pockets stitched in there. Just use my machine stitcher, it's just quicker. And you can't see them anyway, so it don't matter. Alright, now I'm going to set this for gluing. It should be pretty easy here. I'm going to use my Craft Tool Pro scratcher because there is wax on here. And it might not stick very well, or the glue won't stick very well without that, without some sort of scratching, so without some tooth to it. So we scratch it up real good. Barge here. Right, now that the glue is set, or at least dry, we're going to lay it down. Alright, now that we've got the two panels ready, we're going to sew them and we're going to slick the edges as well. So using my wing dividers, I'm going to go ahead and scratch out the line I want. Alright, let's do some stitching real quick here. Okay, now that that's sewn, we've got to burnish these edges here. Alright, it's time to put the lining on to the back and front shell. Just going to cut these out roughly. I'm going to use this water-based stuff. Alright, now that these are dry, I'm going to go ahead and slap them together. Get my roller out and give it a good rolling. Alright, now we cut. Okay, so now we need to shorten up this panel. Alright, now that that's cut down to proper size, we can start assembling here. I think first what I want to do is skive down this edge, which I should have skived this back edge, but I think I can get away with skiving this. It's going to be pretty much invisible, so I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm trying to be careful not to skive too deep. Let's glue on these panels. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the top here because this is going to need to be burnished. And I think I'll go about that far out. Yeah. Now these are ready to go. I'm just going to line them up and plop them down into their spot. All right, now we got to sew a stitch line across the top here, and then one right down here. We're gonna have to burnish this top edge, both the back panel and the whole middle here. All right, now that I've got all the holes chiseled, it's time to sew. All right, so we have burnished edges. I'm going to go ahead and dye these edges because I'm not really liking the way they look. Just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to dye the edges black. All right, well, thank you guys very much for watching. That is a finished wallet, silver foil. Check out AmericanMustacheLeatherWorks.com. Check me out Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Until then, we'll see you on the next project. Bye.